So I took the soap out of the plastic that it was in, and I'm just going to cut apart 8 bars, 8 little squares, because these are divided into squares, as I said before. So I know that about 8 squares is enough to make about 2 soaps for my soap mold. Okay, so I'm just going to take these and I'm going to cut them into these little squares. The finer you cut these, the faster they melt. So that's why I'm being sure that I cut it into as small pieces as I can, using the soap as a guide. Okay. And these are about 1 inch apart in case you got the kind that didn't have, it wasn't broken up in. But you'll figure out as you make more soap. Okay. So now our soap is all cut up. So now I am going to add it to my cup, to my microwavable safe container. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put all the little pieces in there, just like so. So now I have all my pieces in there. So now I have all my pieces into my container, and I'm going to put my microwave, and I'm going to put it on 2 minutes on full blast. Okay, so you'll just do 2, 0, 0, start, and we'll just and I'll show you. I'll take it out so you can kind of see the progression after 1 minute, and I'll show you how now I'm just going to add my essential oil. So this is lavender. So I'm just going to add about 6 drops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just have 6, a bamboo skewer, and I'm just going to give this a mix just to make sure that it's all combined. And as you can see, there's a little bit of the soap on the bamboo skewer, so I can smell that, and I can definitely smell that it's lavender. So I think that that's the perfect amount. I have my soap oils, and they're all ready to go. I sprayed them with some canola cooking spray, and now I am just going to add my soaps to my mold. Okay, so I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to pour it in. Okay. Now, if you were not going to cover these with felt, what you could do is you could spray it with a spray bottle of alcohol, and that would get rid of all these little air bubbles that you see. Okay, but I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to pour it and finish it off. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this to dry. You could put it in the freezer, and that would maybe take it about 15 minutes to get hard, and then you can just unmold it, or you can just leave it out and let it just mold itself. It's up to you. So I will come back when this is molded. I'm going to put mine in the freezer. So I'm back. So my soaps have been molded. Okay, so these are the ones that we molded together, and I just wanted to show you that you could use something as simple as a muffin tin to make your molds, and these give a really nice effect, and they're a good size. So look around your kitchen to look for molds that you can use for your soap making. Now, our next step is we're going to release our molds. So we'll start with this one. What you're going to do is you're going to turn it over, and you're going to apply gentle pressure, okay? And they really just come out very, very easily, okay? Just like that, just right in the center, and you can see an air bubble there. So you're just gonna poke them out just like that, okay? And then I'm just working on a towel here, and I made sure that I washed my hands very, very well, okay? And then these same things, so you just take them, and the silicone muffin tins are really good because you can just really roll them out. Okay, just like that. Okay, so you're just going to unmold all your soaps, just like that. And then you have these is that we are going to grab our wool, which I have here, and I just have a bowl of water. Okay. And then you'll just kind of select whichever kind of wool you want. You can unwrap it. just like that. Okay. So I'll do a black and white one. So you're just going to take this, and this is just, it's not spinned wool. It's just really rough and natural wool. Okay. And you're just going to begin to open it up a little bit. So see how I'm kind of pulling it apart? You don't really want a lot of holes in it. You don't want to pull it too much so that it separates. You just want to open it up. So just very gently, just take your hands and pull it apart. Okay. And it opens quite wide, like at least an inch or two. Okay, just like that. Ready? And then I can do that with my black one. And these just make wonderful gifts. And it's not a very difficult craft to do. But it just takes some time. So just keep that in mind. This is probably something that you want to do on a Saturday. So all I'm going to do is take my soap and I'm going to just loosely put my wool around. Okay? So I'm going to roll it over once so that it kind of connects. You don't want it to be too bulky either. And I'll show you what I mean after I cover it. So see, I want this fully covered with the black. That, but then I have some excess here, so I'm going to get rid of that so that that wool can actually mold onto the soap, and you'll see what I mean after a while. But so what happens is that the wool encases the soap, so you can use this in your bathroom and just save these little scraps. So you can use these in your bathroom, and the soap comes out, and it's so nice, and the wool's like an exfoliant, and it shrinks with the soap. So they're a wonderful gift idea to give to someone. Okay, and you're just going to take the white. I like doing 2 colors, so I usually do at least 2 for my soaps. Just take that, and you're going to go around the other way. Okay, and you'll meet on the end. Okay. Ready? Now this part is a little tricky. Okay, because you want it encased. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have it somewhat encased. I can see here that, so you can pull on your wool a little bit just to cover it up to make sure that that really no part of the white is showing on your soap. Okay. And you can just be very gentle with your wool. Okay. And then it's going to be covered like that. Okay, so I have it all covered, it's all encased, and I'm going to set this wool aside so it doesn't get wet, and I'm going to dip this into my water, okay, just to wet it down. I'm trying to wet my wool down here, okay, just like that. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to take a piece of my tulle, that's that has a lot of room on my thing, and I'm gonna, if my wool comes up, I can just press it down a bit. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin creating friction in my hands. Okay, so see how I'm making bubbles here? So I'm going to apply really hard pressure, and I'm going to start wooling my soap on. Okay, and you might have to move it around a little bit. It might come up a bit, but you're just going to start, and you want lots of suds, and you're just going to create friction, okay, on the surface. Okay, and see there's a little bit of this that kind of wants to come off. You're going to just keep pushing that down, okay, and pushing it up. And if we need to, we can cut that off in the end, okay, because we probably have some excess left, okay. But just kind of move it over and keep working. And this is going to create a lot of suds, and I know you might be thinking, okay, well, that's soap that you're using, but This soap just creates so much suds in general, and it lasts for such a long time that we're taking very little of the soap. And this is the technique that you use to actually get it molded. Now at this point, I can take my tool, and the tool creates friction even better. So then I can really get in there and really get that started to get felted. You don't have to use the tool, so if you don't have any, don't worry about it. You can use your hands, but it does take a bit longer. And I wish you could just feel how soft this soap is making my hands. It's just so nice to use those beautiful soaps, you know, the shea butter and the cocoa butter soaps. I've even seen green tea ones in the blocks that you can just melt and pour. It just does something beautiful to your skin. It's so moisturizing and gorgeous. Okay, so I want to show you. And you're going to do this for quite a bit. But as you can see, nothing's sticking out anymore. See how smooth that is? And let me show you. So you can see better. Okay, so see, like there's not really any more. It's not like really flimsy where I need to flip over the wool anymore. It's starting to begin to felt onto the soap. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working. These take about 15 minutes of just doing this to get them really molded. And what'll happen is that you won't be able to pull up the wool at all. And then you'll know that it's molded. It'll be completely shrunk on there. So see how I can kind of pull that up a little bit? That's not what you want. You want it to be completely molded to the soap. Okay? Ready? So I'm just going to keep working, and I'll show you what they look like at the end after I'm done molding them, and then I'll show you how you can use them and how you need to let them dry. Okay guys, so the soap is almost fully felted, so I'm just going to show you with the tool. You're just going to take your tail and you're really going to make quite a large lather, okay? And you just really work it. You might have to be really gentle at first just so you don't move the felt too much, but and you can just add a little bit more water. Just like that. So it is going to create quite a lather, and you probably want to tell standing by, but I just want to show you kind of what you're going to look for. So this one is fully felted, okay, and it has completely adhered to the soap, okay. So I'm pinching the felt. It won't even pinch. That's how tightly wound it is to the soap. It doesn't move around. There's no pieces hanging out. The white part that you see is not the soap. That's just the white felt that we used. Okay, but it's fully felted. So at this point, what you'll do is you're going to just go to your sink, or you can use a small pitcher of water, and you're just going to wash off all those suds. Okay, just like that. Ready? Okay. And this is what you end up with, is this beautiful felted soap. And you can do these in so many beautiful colors. Like I said, look at all those colors. So you can make as beautiful or as many of these as you want. A whole package of this makes tons of these little felted soaps. So, so definitely get to it. But that's how it turns out. Here I just have a plate with a rack. And I'm just going to set this here. These do need at least 2 days to dry out, so you'll just let them dry, and the wool will be completely dry, and then they'll be ready to use. And then after each use, just make sure that you just run them under water to get rid of all the suds, and you can just set them right on your counter. And as I said, as you use the soap, what happens is that the soap, you use the soap, so the soap starts to disappear, but the felt goes right around the soap. right? So it shrinks with the soap, and and then at the end, when you just have felt, you can actually use this as like a washcloth. So it is like having a washcloth on your soap. These are great in the showers, great for exfoliation. I just love these so I'm much. Back. So I wanted to show you how the felted soaps turned out. So this is how they look when they're done. I just have a couple samples here. That's a green one. That's a brown and green one that I made. But as you can see, it's completed, felted onto the soap. It's really soft and smooth, and if I pinch it, there's not really any movement in the felt. So it's felted on there very well, okay? And as I said, these just create such great gifts, and they're beautiful. They create a beautiful lather too. So that is the way that they look. Okay guys, so we have completed our first felted soap. So this is how they turn out. They're very nicely felted. It just takes a lot of elbow grease, but they turn out very well. And what you want to make sure of is that you cannot pinch it together. So if I pinch here, the felt does not move, which means that it's felted on very, very well. And they're just really soft. They make a beautiful lather, and they make really good gifts. So please let me know if you have any questions. Here's another one that I did, and this is the way that I package them. I make these for my business, but I also make them for gifts too. And I just have a tag here with my name on it, and then how you use them. And then I create all different kinds of fragrances. So I do lavender, lemongrass, vanilla, sweet orange, and unscented are the ones that I like to create, and I just put them in a bag and I package them like that, and they look very beautiful. And the good thing is that these are so fragrant that the fragrance kind of gets locked in the bag, and so the person can just smell the fragrance as soon as they get them. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and happy felt soap making. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.